Must-watch moments September 15 to 19. Thomas and Lee's anger. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day. Before we begin the video, please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. The weekly, the bold, and the beautiful must-watch moments for September 15 to 19 tease that Thomas is furious to learn that Brooke and Ridge got married instead of Taylor and Ridge. Plus, Lee's fury at Luna puts the younger woman's life at risk. Tune in on CBS or Paramount Plus next week so you can catch all of the dramatic moments in Los Angeles. Thomas, Matthew Atkinson, angrily confronts Brooke, Catherine Kelly Lang. Will Crew Morrow gives Bill, Don Diamond, and Katie, Heather Tom, shocking news. Luna, Lisa Yamada, confides in Remy, Christian Weissman. Ridge holds Thomas down and away from Brooke. His agony is apparent. Lee, Naomi Matsuda, becomes livid by Luna's deception, enough to do her physical harm. Remy and Deke, Harrison Cohn, who features in the B and B Comings and Goings, are confused by Luna's request. Will is consumed with guilt while Electra, Linnea Grace, creates a special night, including a gift for Will. The bold and the beautiful promised a roller coaster of emotions this week, and from September 15 through September 19 viewers got exactly that with an intensity that left everyone reeling. And at the center of the storm were Thomas and Lee, whose anger boiled over in ways that no one could have predicted, and yet that felt inevitable given all of the tension building in recent weeks. Because when the cracks in their control finally gave way, the result was a week of must-watch moments that combined raw emotion, betrayal, family conflict, and personal vendettas into a combustible mix that had fans glued to their screens and buzzing online about every twist and turn. And while the bold and the beautiful is no stranger to heated confrontations, the sheer force of Thomas and Lee's fury made this week stand out as one of the most unforgettable stretches of episodes in recent memory, as each outburst, each glare, and each cutting line of dialogue revealed deeper truths about who these characters are, what they want, and what they are willing to do to get it. So let's dive into the tangled web of emotions and unravel why the rage of Thomas and Lee defined the week, and why fans cannot stop talking about it. Thomas has always been a complicated figure on the canvas, a man whose brilliant creativity and undeniable passion is often undermined by his darker impulses and questionable choices. And this week showcased that duality in its most explosive form, because while he has worked hard to rebuild trust with his family and carve out a place for himself as a loving father and devoted designer, all of that progress was threatened as his simmering resentment and long-buried anger came rushing to the surface. And what viewers saw was not just a momentary slip, but the eruption of emotions that had been carefully tucked away for far too long. Because Thomas feels the weight of every judgment, every side eye, every whispered doubt about whether he has truly changed, and in his mind he is still paying a price for sins he has already been punished for. So when he lashed out, it was not only about the immediate situation, but about years of frustration boiling over. His words cut like knives because they were fueled by deep wounds, and fans watching at home felt both shocked and strangely sympathetic, because they understood that Thomas's fury was born not only from anger but from pain. And in that collision of rage and heartbreak, the character reminded everyone why he is one of the most fascinatingly twisted figures in the show's history. But if Thomas's anger was fiery and raw, Lee's was cold, sharp, and surgical, the kind of fury that chills you to the bone because it is calculated and relentless. And this week gave fans one of the most unforgettable glimpses into just how far Lee is willing to go when she feels disrespected or betrayed. As a woman who has survived immense personal loss and betrayal, Lee has built herself into a fortress of strength, discipline, and control. But beneath that carefully composed exterior is a reservoir of anger that, once tapped, can be every bit as destructive as a volcanic eruption, and that was exactly what fans witnessed. Her confrontation scenes carried an intensity that left her adversaries shaken and viewers stunned. Because Lai does not waste words or energy when she is furious, she channels her anger into icy precision, delivering blows that are psychological as much as they are emotional. And this week, she proved that she will not be silenced, dismissed, or minimized by anyone, not even by the most powerful figures in Los Angeles. Fans flooded social media praising her performance, calling Lai one of the most formidable forces on the show. Because when she unleashes her fury, she is every bit as dangerous as the more openly villainous characters, but with a restraint and focus that make her even more chilling. The dynamic between Thomas and Lee's separate bursts of anger became the spine of the week's storytelling. And what made these moments so must-watch was how their individual rage reflected larger themes of the show: family loyalty, betrayal, self-worth, and the desperate struggle for recognition and respect. Thomas's anger screamed of a man who has been denied forgiveness and continues to carry the stigma of his past, despite all of his efforts to move forward. While Lai's fury came from a place of righteous indignation, a demand for acknowledgement and justice in a world where she feels constantly overlooked or undermined. The juxtaposition of their emotional styles, his explosive and hers icy, offered viewers two sides of the same coin, reminding everyone that anger is not a one-size-fits-all emotion, but rather a deeply personal response shaped by history, trauma, and character. The ripple effects of their fury began to shake the foundations of relationships across the canvas. For Thomas, his outburst raised immediate questions about whether he could ever truly be trusted again, and whether those around him will always see him as the man who once manipulated and lied, rather than the man he is trying so desperately to become. For Lai, her anger drew lines in the sand that may prove irreversible, cutting off potential alliances and deepening existing rifts, and fans were left speculating about what bridges she has now burned, and whether she even cares about rebuilding them. What made this week so captivating was the sense that both Thomas and Lai had reached points of no return, unleashing fury that cannot simply be walked back with apologies or explanations. The performances behind these storylines were nothing short of electric, with Matthew Atkinson delivering a portrayal of Thomas that oscillated between heart-wrenching vulnerability and explosive rage, reminding everyone of why his character continues to be one of the most talked-about figures in daytime, while Naomi Matsuda brought a fierce, steely brilliance to Lai, capturing the nuance of a woman who refuses to be marginalized, and whose anger becomes a weapon as sharp as a scalpel. Viewers and critics alike praised the actors for grounding these heightened emotions in real humanity, making the must-watch moments of the week not just entertaining but resonant. As the week came to a close, fans were left with countless questions about what comes next. Will Thomas's eruption cost him everything he has fought so hard to rebuild, or will those closest to him finally see that his anger is not just destructive, but also a cry for understanding and redemption? Will Lei's fury create new enemies who will stop at nothing to bring her down? Or will her strength and precision ensure that she remains untouchable? The bold and the beautiful thrives on these lingering uncertainties, and by giving fans a week dominated by Thomas and Lei's rage, the show has set the stage for a cascade of drama that will continue to unfold in unpredictable and explosive ways. The week of September 15 to 19 will be remembered as the one where anger took center stage and transformed into unforgettable drama, proving once again that in the world of the bold and the beautiful, emotions are never simple and consequences are never small. Thomas and Lei's fury became the must-watch moments that no fan could ignore, moments that revealed the deepest wounds and sharpest edges of two of the show's most compelling characters, and moments that ensured the storylines moving forward will be fraught with tension, danger, and the promise of even more shocking twists. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our United News 24 YouTube channel for more update news.